Welcome back to Time with God series, Joyce Meyer's Everyday Life Bible Journey for Busy Moms. We have completed the first book in the Old Testament, and we are starting Exodus today. A few things about Exodus before I start reading chapter 1. Moses is the author, and it was written around 1440 BC, before Christ. And there is so much that we can learn from Exodus. The entire book basically is a story of deliverance. Remember how everyone was going through the famine and they sold themselves as slaves? Well, yes, Joseph had great favor in Pharaoh's sight, and he was very good to Joseph and his family. But many years have passed, and there came to a point to where the new Pharaoh and all of his army knew nothing of Joseph. And all they knew were these people that were from Jacob were slaves, and they were treated harshly. So Exodus tells a beautiful story of deliverance. It's a story of people breaking free from huge oppression. And God enabled Moses to be the leader to bring those people out of these horrible circumstances that they were living day by day. If you were to meet Moses today, you would probably think that he would not be God's first choice. Moses had a hard time with speaking in front of people. Can anyone relate to that? And he said, "Oh, I can't do this." I mean, he loved the Lord and he knew he had a purpose for the Lord, but he just was afraid about being a leader. And God showed him and prepared him for many, many years to be able to carry out the act of delivering his people. Now, we can very much compare this to years later. Jesus comes to deliver his people. So there is some huge correlations. We will go through this chapter by chapter, just like we did in Genesis. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, please put them in the comments below. If there's anything you feel uncomfortable putting in the comments, you can always reach me at hellothompsonwendy@gmail.com. And I'm pretty good about checking messages and getting with people as quickly as possible. Now, sometimes things pile up on me. I do homeschool my daughter. I am very busy with a lot of different things, but this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, and it was one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, because I wanted to know, God, how can I best serve other people? And it may not have been the popular choice when you're picking your niche in YouTube, but I felt like God was saying, those ideas are great that you have for your channel, but put your main focus on my word. Jesus is coming and so many are lost. And it is put on each one of us as his children to serve and to share and to express the love of God as shown to us through Jesus. In the book of Exodus, they had clouds telling them when to stop during their journey, when to start doing their journey again. Today, we have the Holy Spirit guiding us. That gives you a little bit of a taste of what Exodus is about if you've never read it before. I will go ahead and start with Exodus chapter 1. These are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Egypt with Jacob, each with his household: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. Verse 5. All the offspring of Jacob were 70 persons. Joseph was already in Egypt. Then Joseph died, and all his brothers in all that generation. But the descendants of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, and the land was full of them. Now a new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. He said to his people, "Behold, the Israelites are too many and too mighty for us, and they outnumber us both in people and in strength." Verse 10. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply more, and should war befall us, they join our enemies, fight against us, and escape out of the land. So they set over the Israelites taskmasters to afflict and oppress them with increased burdens. Was not getting easier for God's people. That is for sure. And the Israelites built Pithom and Ramses as store cities for Pharaoh. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more they multiplied and expanded, so that the Egyptians were vexed and alarmed because of the Israelites. And the Egyptians reduced the Israelites to severe slavery. They made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar, brick, and all kinds of work in the field. All their service was with harshness and severity. Verse 15. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, of whom one was named Shiphrah and the other Puah, when you act as midwives to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, you shall kill him, but if it is a daughter, she shall live. But the midwives feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded, but let the male babies live. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this thing and allowed the male children to live?" The midwives answered Pharaoh, "Because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. They are vigorous and quickly delivered. Their babies are born before the midwife comes to them. Verse 20. So God dwelt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and became very strong. And because the midwives revered and feared God, he made them households of their own. Then Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son born to the Hebrews you shall cast into the river Nile, but every daughter you shall allow to live. That is the end of Exodus chapter 1. It's great having you with me, starting the second book of the Old Testament. Please come back, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, like. Please comment. If you have any questions, please put them down. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. And I hope too that you'll check out the other playlists that I am getting up and running. God bless your today and all your tomorrows. And I will be back with Exodus chapter 2.